This arrest has become expedient in the face of continuous inquiry by the local and international media on the implication of the recent policy of temporary ban on the exportation of shea nut by the federal government on August 26, 2025. Being the umbrella body of the actors in the shea value chain in Nigeria, we have convened this conference first to articulate our response to the policy, second to create a no-spot event to respond centrally to various inquiries, and third to offer insight and suggestion on policy harmonization and implementation. As some of you may be aware, we convened an emergency meeting of our members 2 days after the announcement, precisely on August 28, 2025, to review the immediate and long-term impact of the announcement. After the emergency meeting, we issued a communique commending the very laudable policy, but also highlighting areas of concern created by the sudden announcement at the peak of shea nut trading season. Before I proceed, let me clear the air on the focus of the policy by distinguishing between shea nut or kernel and shea butter. Whereas shea nut or kernel refers to the seed of shea fruit, which is derived after depulping the shea fruit and cracking the shell that protects the nut or kernel before drying for crushing for shea oil extraction. Shea butter is the coagulated solid mass resulting from the oil extracted from the nut or kernel. It is important to understand that the announcement by the government affects the exportation of the kernel and not the butter. I will have to make this point categorically clear. The government is saying don't export the nut as in raw form, but the butter, yes, is exportable. Since substantial value is added during the processing of shea kernel to shea butter, yes. When you process, by the time you pick the nut, fresh nut, you depulp it, you parboil it, you crack and remove the almond. Within this first stage, you have about 3 products. The depulping one that you removed, which is the edible one, we all eat it, and then you have the shell. Now you have the almond. So at this stage, you have about 3 different products. So we have to make that categorically clear. So government is saying the almond that you get finally, rather than exporting it, also process it into shea butter so that you now export to shea butter. For media information and public enlightenment, let me highlight the pertinent issues again. Number 1, appreciation to government. NASPAN extends its profound appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and the Vice President Alhaji Kashim Shettima, GCON, for their timely intervention in placing an immediate ban on the export of shea nuts to kernel from Nigeria. This policy is not only strategic but also critical in repositioning Nigeria as the global leader in shea competitiveness. Number 2, policies of certification. Though announced suddenly during the peak of the seasonal transaction in shea nut harvest, processing, and trading, the ban is a welcome decision that NASPAN fully supports. It represents a paradigm shift in the regulation of shea resources, with the official integration of critical economic product of wide domestic benefit and high export value. The ground of the ban, including boosting local processing capacity, curbing informal trade, job creation, rural economic transformation, sustainability for women pickers and processors, and resource optimization are valid and justifiable, with tremendous potential for national economic growth. Now the point is, at this level, when federal government ban, what federal government is thinking is that, look, by the time you add value to the shea, you produce the shea nut, tendency is that by the time you export the butter, you make more money, which is true. And then you are creating employment. Again, given all the necessary attention, the rural woman at the grassroots will be given the desired attention and the support. Number 3, policy impact. Apart from the informed reason already well articulated by the federal government, we wish to emphasize the immediate impact as follows. The announcement can stem local price volatility as actors in the value chain review emerging reality to explore ways in which the policy enhances mutually beneficial trade relationship. Integrating shea into the Nigerian commodity exchanges platform will also foster price stability, transparency, and the fair return to farmers, women pickers, and the processors. What we are saying here is this. To a greater extent, this is a window for the sector to be regulated, because our complaint has always been there have been a lot of informal trading activity or share. You go to our, especially the cross-border trading activities. You go there at our border, you see how trailer loads of not get out of this country. We feed a lot of the countries, neighboring countries. They crush it into butter and then they export to the Western world. Unfortunately, at the point of exit in Nigeria, nobody takes data. So this call for concern for us. So but we believe with this announcement, a lot will be done. As I said, the sector will be given the desired attention. And indeed, all the regular agencies will now do their duty. Take the data, make sure that the exporters are registered, they have a license, valid license, pay the duty they are supposed to pay and stamp of taxes at the point of exit, and then collect data so that we will now work now on data, because most of the data we're using is not emanating from Nigeria. For example, most of the data we're using is from FAO. So there is the need for us to have our own data. The policy signifies government readiness to formalize share trading and curtail informal trading, as I said, with huge economic losses and arising from undocumented cross-border trading, smuggling, and black market practice. The new policy direction presents the opportunity to assess the capacity of local processors to establish the gap between the requirement, shortfall, or excess that could be considered for export. Now, here what we are saying is that yes, we have processors in the country. I think we have about 6 large-scale processing facilities in Nigeria. But can they consume what we are producing? No. That is the question. Now, so if they cannot consume what we are producing, what do you do with the excess? Absolutely, if you allow it to go this way, it means a lot of wastage will come in. Apart from that, our people lose money. Worst of all is the local woman, the picker. Because sadly today, as a result of this policy, all the pickers have stopped picking, because the aggregators, the buyers are no longer buying. They cannot buy because they cannot export because of the ban. So this part of the shortfall of the policy. Now the new policy direction presents the opportunity to assess the capacity, as I said. So we really need to work hand in hand with the processors, the pickers, the aggregators, so that everybody will, at the end of the day, it's going to be a win-win situation for all. Critical success factors. To achieve desired impact, ensuring alignment with national goals and advancing the interests of actors across the value chain, we propose the following, but not limited actions. Number 1, the Nigerian Customs Service should ensure effective policing of all borders to avoid further perpetration of illegal trading. Now, here it is very pertinent for us to mention that you may recall that sometimes the federal government banned farm gate buying of our products or product by foreigners. But has that been enforced? Because today you find foreigners in our market, in our villages, buying our commodities. How are we sure that this current ban that was announced by government is going to be enforced? So these are critical issues. Now, to ensure a coordinated oversight, there is an urgent need for the creation of share marketing board to regulate share trading, particularly the prescription minimum and maximum guaranteed price at the beginning of each trading session. It is very important because the woman at the grassroots, the pickers, they are so disadvantaged. So disadvantaged in the sense that the woman will trek long distance to the bush, pick the nut, transport it on her head, and upon coming to the hamlet, she doesn't have a storage facility. And when she wants to start processing, she needs clean water. These are communities that they don't even have good drinking water. And when she parboil, she had to sun dry. They don't have the sun drying platform. They sun dry by roadside. And when they want to start processing, they do it under tree sheet. Added to the fact that the activity of share nut coincide with the farming season. Now, it coincides with the farming season, which means the women will travel long distance to the bush. I mean, they have to farm, I mean, they have to cook and take food to their husband in the farm. So there are so many issues. So because of that, they pick less. So many challenges. So we need to work hand in hand so as to even address the issue, the lack of basic infrastructure at the grassroots. A share sector grant should be introduced to support existing and diversified processors in expanding their offtake capacity from aggregators. Now, our local processors, they need support in terms of funding. If you tell a processor to go and maybe he can consume 20,000 tons or 30,000 tons, you are talking of billions. Where will he get that resources to buy the nut to stock for all the processing? So these are part of what we are saying. The federal government should come to the end of these our processes. Create a window of funding such that they can get a soft facility, especially through the development financial institution, so that they get enough fund to stock and continue processing. Added to the fact that shea is a seasonal crop. It sells from maybe end of May up to November and first week of December. That's the period within you get. So it means you need to stock. Not only to stock, but you also have the facility to process it from the first stage to almost, so that you can now store in the best way for further processing. The federal government should prevail on the National Assembly to immediately pass into law the National Council on Shea initiated in the ninth National Assembly, providing appropriate governance and policy direction for the sector. Yes, the ninth Assembly has proposed a bill for the establishment of National Council on Shea. So we believe the government should expedite action, because let me tell you, the major challenge is that of regulating the sector, and it's not peculiar to shea. It's virtually all the commodity, all the commodities. Why? Because we've long abandoned. When we said we are going taking IMF loan, sometimes in 1985, the condition was to the regulated agriculture sector, and the sector has been deregulated completely since that time. And part of the fallout was that the farmer no longer have guaranteed market. The society is no longer getting employment. And worst of all, the government is not generating revenue in this sector. So we have to have some level of regulation for the sector to thrive. For continuous growth and to maintain the advantage that Nigeria has in holding about 57% of total world stock of the shea trees, according to a report of the Food and Agricultural Organization FAO in 2005, the federal government should adopt the shea tree for its various climate management programs in state within the shea belt. We urge the federal government to expedite interventions, funding, and resource direction toward shea parkland generation and restoration, ensuring long-term sustainability and increased productivity. This will not only ensure stability in the shea market, but position Nigeria as the shea hub for domestic and international supplies. We launched a project we call Shea Parkland Restoration and Afforestation. SPARE. This is an initiative to plant 10 million shea trees over the next 10 years. If government give us the necessary support, we want to at least every year plant 1 million trees. I'm happy to say that we are engaged with Foreign Minister of Investment and Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria, as well as NIFO, Nigeria for Oil Farm Research. In the case of Freedom promised to give us 1 million shea trees this year, so we're working with them. We are also working with state government, like Niger State government, we are deeply involved, giving us a large expanse of land. We are going to do the parkland. The essence of the parkland is, one, to domesticate the shea tree. Two, to reduce the gestation period of shea, because shea can last for it to start fruiting, minimum it takes 15 years, but it can last up to 30 years before it start fruiting. But the beauty of it is that it can last for over 200 years. So we want to reduce the gestation period, and then we want to introduce agroforestry. Agroforestry in such a way that you can farm in your farm at the same time the shea tree grows. So we are working with state government. Some few states have indicated interest. I think Niger, Katsina, and a host of others were already engaged them. So this is a good one. We recently engaged the National Garnering World. We are talking with them, Nigerian Garnering World, so that they adopt the shea tree as part of their climate. In the country, they have some state that they are planting the tree now for climate resilience. So we hope to partner with them. Number 5, addressing the unintended consequence. Now, while members appreciate the benefit and prospect of this pronouncement, the sudden announcement of police has created serious dislocation for aggregators. We have acquired a huge stock of shea nut amounting to billions of naira in readiness for export before the pronouncement. Relieved that this is a temporary ban. In fairness to Mr. President, he said temporary for 6 months, which means there is room for adjustment. We welcome that, and we believe the president is a listening president, and we believe the president will not like any Nigerian to lose. So we are sure he will reconsider that position, so that together we sit down and work out in modalities so that we implement his policy in phases. Relief that this is temporary ban, allowing for review and remedies, members strongly appeal to the federal government to grant a 90-day window to enable all shea nut traders with verifiable contract or loan offers to discharge their contractual obligation within this period. Aggregators with evidence of legally binding contract made before the policy change should be allowed to complete those transactions under a regulated framework. Now, here, what we are saying is that you make a policy, it's a good one, but let there be time for implementation. Our neighboring countries have banned shea exportation, but they said effective January 2026. And even recently, when federal government carried out the tax reform was carried out as part of the National Assembly, it was signed into law, but it did not take effect immediately. A time was given when it is going to start. So within this frame that was saying, okay, let's sit down round table with federal government and let's work out a modality and implement this policy in phases. Now the next step, for integrated coordination and to achieve a seamless harmonization of industry-led initiative, we propose as follows. Immediate meeting with a delegation of NASFA and the federal government to engage further on the distillation and the harmonization of the fine details of the new policy. Well, here I can tell you I am engaging the federal government, and I think they have indicated interest to meet with us next week. So that's why I said the government, the president is a listening governor. Our message have already reached, and I think they are making way for us to meet next week. So we appreciate the government for that. Federal government adoption and support for the next biannual share conference of announcement holding in February 2026 as a convenient point to avenue to review the temporary ban by all stakeholders in the public and private sector, as this earlier planned conference coincided with the maturation period of the 6-month temporary ban. So what we are saying is that we already have planned to do national conference in February. So government should come, let us partner with the government so that we bring all stakeholders, sit down around table and discuss this issue and then find a way forward. Because to us, the attention given to this sector at this material point in time come in handy, to come at the right time. So we really appreciate it. Addressing all issues prompted by the recent pronouncement, as highlighted at this press conference, will ensure growth, stability, and sustainability, such that neither those in the upstream producing shea nut nor those in the downstream diversifying its utilization will be discouraged or disintermediated. Now, what I'm saying is this. Even now, we've been engaging all the actors across the value chain, right from the pickers to the processors. Sitting with us, there are a lot of processors. Some of us are processors, some of us are aggregators. We were able to bring everybody under the same umbrella and say, look, let's look at this policy and let's see how we can work around it. And we've been talking to them, we've given them the assurance, As a national association, the umbrella body protecting the interests of the Shia actors will ensure that nobody loses. And federal government are listening to us. So we hope to come around with federal government to work out modalities so as it will be a win-win situation for all. Thank you.